Hello everyone, and welcome back. Before we begin, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any future insights into food, nutrition, and health myths. Today we are going to talk about pasta. I wanted to take a closer look at it because pasta is often surrounded by myths, especially the claim that it makes you gain weight. As I started to look deeper, I found myself in what felt like a jungle of pasta varieties. And I thought it would be a good idea to bring you some clarity. In this video, we will explore why pasta is often considered a fattening food, what the glycemic index and glycemic load have to do with it, which types of pasta are actually the healthiest, and whether the calorie differences between pasta varieties are really as significant as marketing suggests. For a long time, during the low-fat era, people believed that fat was the only cause of weight gain. Then the trend shifted, and suddenly carbohydrates were labeled the new enemy. But the truth is, carbohydrates are not all the same. Carbohydrates come in different forms. There are simple sugars, double sugars, and complex carbohydrates. Simple sugars are the smallest building blocks, like glucose, which we need for quick energy, for instance when running to catch a train. Our brain also relies on glucose to think and function. Double sugars include household sugar, which is a combination of glucose and fructose. Complex carbohydrates are found in foods like vegetables, fruits, and grains. These plant-based storage molecules form the base of much of our diet. Now, what matters is not just that these are all carbohydrates, but that they behave very differently in the body. Simple sugars, for example, add calories without vitamins, minerals, fiber, or any secondary plant compounds. White sugar is just empty energy. Complex carbohydrates, on the other hand, often come packaged with valuable nutrients, and this brings us to the concept of the glycemic index. The glycemic index and glycemic load, what does it mean? The glycemic index became popular with diets that advised people to eat fewer carbohydrates. It measures how quickly a certain amount of carbohydrate from a food raises blood sugar levels. When blood sugar rises quickly, the body releases insulin to move the sugar into the cells. If this happens too fast, and you are not burning that energy immediately, say with long-distance running, then the excess is more likely to be stored as fat. So, a high glycemic index is not ideal. It is a signal to watch your blood sugar closely. But scientists pointed out that the glycemic index alone doesn't tell the whole story. What also matters is the amount of food people actually eat in a normal portion. That's where the concept of the glycemic load comes in. Now, pasta in the real world. When it comes to pasta, there is another important point. We rarely eat pasta on its own. We almost always combine it with other foods, like pesto, for example. Pesto contains fat from olive oil, protein from nuts, and sometimes additional protein and fat from cheese like Parmesan. And here's the key, fat slows down digestion. So, the neat calculations about the glycemic index don't really apply in the same way once you add sauce, oil, vegetables, or cheese. Still, when we look at pasta by itself, there are differences in both glycemic index and glycemic load, and these differences have led to the incredible variety of pasta now available in stores. It is a pasta jungle, there are so many varieties. When I went shopping for pasta, I was truly overwhelmed. The variety today is incredible, and much of it has to do with the rise of low-carb trends and gluten-free options. Let's start with the basics. Traditional Italian pasta is usually made from durum wheat. Durum wheat is a harder grain than the soft wheat commonly used in Germany. Durum pasta holds its shape even without eggs. German wheat pasta often requires eggs to maintain form when cooking. So, most of the pasta we know is wheat-based. But alternatives have become more popular: spelt pasta, gluten-free pasta made from rice or corn, and of course, legume-based pasta. Gluten-free pasta is made from rice and corn. Nutritionally, however, these varieties do not offer any particular advantages. They usually have about the same glycemic index as white wheat pasta, sometimes even slightly higher because they are so easily digested and contain little fiber. Pasta made from legumes. Here it becomes more interesting: pasta made from lentils, chickpeas, soy, or black beans. For example, red lentil pasta, chickpea pasta, soy spaghetti or black bean spaghetti. These types often contain more fiber and more protein than traditional pasta, which makes them attractive, especially for vegan diets. Nutritionally, they are closer to whole grain pasta. They can provide plant protein, and like all legumes, they offer additional fiber. What's about Asian varieties like rice, glass, and konjac noodles? The white varieties from Asia. Rice noodles, slightly matte white, made from rice flour. Glass noodles, made from mung bean starch. Mung beans are also legumes, but in this case, it is the extracted starch. These noodles are light, but nutritionally not necessarily superior. And then there are konjac noodles. They are made from the konjac root, sometimes referred to as an algae. These noodles are very low in calories and contain almost no nutrients. They mainly provide volume. Some people describe them as having a slippery texture and a slight fishy smell. Manufacturers say they absorb the flavor of sauces. Opinions are divided, but it is true, they hardly provide calories. Do calories really differ that much? Aside from konjac noodles, most pasta varieties do not differ dramatically in calories. The bigger question is, how much do you eat, and what do you eat with it? A generous plate of pasta with a rich bolognese sauce will obviously have more calories than pasta tossed with just olive oil, garlic, or roasted vegetables. So, it is not only about the noodle itself, but the whole meal. Which pasta is healthiest? Personally, I still like traditional durum wheat pasta. It is versatile, tasty, and satisfying. Whole grain pasta is an excellent option if you want more fiber. Spelt pasta is fine too, though not inherently healthier than wheat. If you do not tolerate wheat well, spelt can be an alternative. Mixing white pasta with whole grain pasta can also be a nice way to balance taste and nutrition. And don't forget the creative vegetable alternatives: zucchini noodles, often called zoodles, or carrot spirals. Mixing vegetable spirals with regular pasta is a great way to make meals lighter and more colorful. The final truth: do pasta make you fat? No, pasta itself does not automatically make you gain weight. It depends on the portion size, what you eat with it, and what you do after eating. If you eat pasta and then lie down on the couch with chips afterwards, the outcome is different than if you go for a walk or stay active. In fact, after activity, pasta can provide quick energy that supports performance and recovery. So, the myth that pasta makes you fat is just that, a myth. Thank you for watching and for joining me in this exploration of the pasta jungle. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next discussion about food myths and nutrition truths. See you next time.